How did T-Pain become financially free? We will be covering his music and investments. Starting with some background, T-Pain, born Fahim Najm, is an influential music artist and businessman who grew up in Tallahassee, Florida, discovering his passion for music at an early age. He chose the professional name of T-Pain, standing for Tallahassee Pain, due to the hardships he faced living there. By 10 years old, he would be making music in his bedroom studio, visiting a family friend's studio whenever he could as well. At 19, he would start making some noise with music, being introduced to Akon, signing to his label Convict Music, which launched his career even further. Though T-Pain is well respected for his vocal performances, he also was a driving factor in the popularity of auto-tune, in a way giving him a signature sound at the time. T-Pain has had a very successful career with so much more to come. However, there were bumps in the road that will be discussed. So before we get into his investments, we need to talk about his music and label. Going into music, T-Pain has released 20 projects in his career so far, of which 6 are studio albums. Of his released albums, he went gold twice, starting with his 2005 debut album, Rapper Turned Singer, then in 2008 with his album 3 Rings. T-Pain does have a 2x platinum album under his belt with the 2007 Epiphany, which is equivalent to 2 million sales. Those numbers are impressive, but it doesn't stop there, as T-Pain has been even more successful as a featured artist. He has a diamond certification equivalent to 10 million sales, being featured on Flo Rida's song Low. He's 4x platinum with songs like Kiss Kiss by Chris Brown and Hey Baby by Pitbull, 3x platinum with songs like All I Do Is Win, DJ Khaled, Good Life, Kanye West, and Got Money, Lil Wayne. And how could we forget the 2x platinum I'm on a Boat by The Lonely Island? These are just a few with the highest sales. However, there are plenty more that could be mentioned reaching platinum status. These high sales and songs of T-Pain reflect the influence that he has had on the industry that is still being heard today. Playing songs like Buy You a Drink or Low in a club still get the same big reactions as they did over a decade ago. There is no doubt that T-Pain has been very successful when it comes to music, but what he did with that money is a different story we will get into. As for his label situation, like I mentioned, T-Pain first signed to Akon's Convict Music in 2005 and released 5 studio albums under the label. Starting in 2006, he would sign to Zomba Label Group, which was a collaboration between Convict and Jive Records. That deal would only last until about 2008, as during that time, T-Pain was building his own label, Nappy Boy Entertainment, which followed him throughout his career. Following T-Pain leaving Convict Music in 2017, he would release his last studio album, One Up, under his independent label, which is distributed through Cinematic Music Group. Going forward, this looks to be where T-Pain will release new music, and that makes sense because with the leverage he has built up throughout his career, going a more independent route will bring in some better returns for him. Overall, when we talk about music, T-Pain has seen influential success, as that is reflected in his high sales as a solo artist and as a featured artist. Now, when talking about investments, this will be an interesting section because I talked slightly about it in a past video titled The Comeback Story T-Pain. In that video, we discussed how T-Pain lost $40 million to bad investments and bad money management. In the 2019 Breakfast Club interview, T-Pain went into detail how most of his money was lost due to poor real estate investments controlled by his former manager. He also mentioned that at one point he had to borrow money from friends to pay for Burger King for his family. It was not just bad real estate investments, but poor money management choices like buying luxury cars when he couldn't afford it. As big of a loss as that is, T-Pain is working that back. He said it best like this: the 40 million lost was from hustling to get to that 40 million, but now that he is established, he does not need to put in that same effort to bring in income. Completely makes sense, as he has the catalog to back it up and the resources needed for endless opportunities. Before we get into his current investments, one of the biggest pieces of advice that T-Pain wants people to hear is to have someone watch over the person who watches over your money. That is important to hear for everyone because he is not the only one who has had poor money management. It happens on all levels. As for current investments, in 2021, T-Pain was a part of the $4 million seed funding round for the music creative app Make It. Make It is a tool that beginner artists can use to mix and master their tracks in order to sound more professional. This is a great tool to use, as many artists either don't have access to music engineers or do not have the skill level / tools to do it themselves. investments. Make It provides a simple solution to that problem and is a growing platform with lots more to come. Another investment made by tpain was in May of 2022 when he purchased a restaurant in Georgia. Though the restaurant has not opened yet, we should be getting some more news about it soon. When announcing this purchase, tpain reflected on growing up in his parents' restaurant and how he is going to use what he learned from them in this business. This is a passion for him, and if executed correctly, can be a great way to diversify his portfolio. Overall, when we talk about investments, tpain is currently on his financial comeback after losing tens of millions to poor investments. He is using the lessons he learned in that struggle and using the resources he has built up from a successful career to make a change. It really is good to see tpain making these moves, and I can't wait to see where he will go from here. This all leads me to the question, what is next for tpain? As for music, he is currently independent under Nappy Entertainment, which is where he will continue to release music. He has been very active on the Twitch platform, which he has stated to be a great source of income, sometimes paying more than his music recently. I think he will continue to grow his brand there through music and gaming. We should get more news about his restaurant opening as it gets closer to the 1-year mark of him purchasing it. As for new investments, he is being cautious and using better money management so he does not make the same mistakes as in the past. I'll be sure to cover any new investments made by tpain on my channel. What is next for tpain? Making his financial comeback using the lessons and resources he has learned from. In summary, tpain has sold tens of millions of records as a solo artist and as a featured artist. He changed the game with autotune and his catchy songs that are still in rotation today. His investments in the past have gone south, losing over 40 million, but now in 2022 he is past that and back to growing his business in safer ways. At tpain's level, he has almost endless opportunities. Though he lost millions, his influential success and hard work built what tpain needed to make his comeback to live his life financially free. And that is how tpain became financially free. Thank you to those who recommended covering him. I hope you found this video informational. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, as well as let me know who I should talk about next. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.